I am Bruno's childhood sweetheart and I've liked him for 10 years. He always tacitly accepted my feelings, until he met Anna. He said Anna was better than me in every way. He also said you should actually try being with someone else. But when I really tried, he regretted it. Chapter 1. So tired. I don't want to like Bruno anymore. When I realized this, I was sitting in his car. More precisely, in the back seat. Anna sat in the passenger seat. I was squeezed in the back with another male classmate, Tony. Today was my freshman registration day. From a small southern city to the capital, everything was unfamiliar. I waited at the school gate for Bruno for a full 4 hours. He never picked up my calls. It wasn't until I had settled everything by myself that Tony showed up downstairs at my dorm. He said Bruno sent him. I used Tony's phone to call Bruno. This time, he answered immediately. Bruno, I did it. 2 years ago, we agreed that as long as I got into his university. Miriam. He cut me off. You should actually try being with someone else. So that was why he let Tony come pick me up. Don't avoid me. Let's talk face to face. I'm not avoiding you, he said impatiently. I'll drive over later. There's a club gathering tonight, come too. The summer Bruno got his driver's license, I was the one who accompanied him every day. However long he practiced, I stayed under the sun with him. People would tease him, asking, "Who's that little girl to you?" He'd take the water bottle from my hand with a smile. "You tell them." My face would burn red and I couldn't get a word out for a long time. Everyone would laugh. Bruno would ruffle my hair. "Just wait 2 more years. When you get into my university." His words carried deeper meaning, but he never admitted anything outright. He just made me guess. And I couldn't guess. While I spent those 2 years studying desperately because of that promise, becoming the dark horse of the exam, earning admiring looks as I was accepted into the capital's university, what was he doing? "You must be Miriam." Anna leaned out of the passenger window. "Get in." So that's what he was doing, chasing someone else. The rearview mirror let me see his face for the first time in 2 years. His features had grown sharper, losing the youthful softness I knew, replaced with a stranger's edge. He had always been good-looking, the corners of his eyes and brows never lied. But once I got in the car, he never looked at me. "Tony." Anna turned her head. She called Tony's name but her eyes were on me. "Did you help our Miriam with her luggage?" Her teasing made Tony blush. "She carried everything herself." "You've got to take your chances," she laughed. "Weren't you saying you wanted to start dating? Don't say I'm not helping you." Tony scratched his head, stealing a glance at me. "Add her on WeChat," Anna reminded him. Tony pulled out his phone and leaned toward me. Freshman, can I?" Suddenly, brakes. All 3 of us looked toward the driver's seat. He showed no expression, as if our conversation didn't interest him at all. It was just a red light. Outside was the capital at dusk, drizzling with early spring rain. Back in senior year of high school, I had stared countless times at the southern rain outside the classroom window, imagining this very day 2 years later. Tony's phone was still held out in front of me. The red light was slow. "Miriam," the driver finally spoke, finally looked at me. "Don't be too picky." He said it jokingly, yet the rain outside washed away the image of my old classroom, and each drop, fine as needles, pierced straight into my heart. Chapter 2. Anna is beautiful. The kind of radiant beauty who stands out instantly in a crowd. She becomes the focus wherever she goes. Just like now, inside the private room where the club was having dinner, the moment she entered, everyone welcomed her warmly. "Anna, over here, over here." A senior waved her over. "I saved seats for you and Bruno." Bruno stepped forward and pulled out the chair for Anna. Tony and I, still standing by the door, suddenly felt awkward. Well, that senior loved stirring up the atmosphere. "Tony brought his little girlfriend here? I thought someone like you would stay single the entire college years." "No," Tony waved his hands quickly. "She's Bruno's younger sister, Miriam." At those words, everyone shifted their gazes toward me, each with their own expression. The senior glanced at Anna, then at me, deliberately raising his voice. "So you're the legendary sister Bruno always talks about." Don't just stand there, come sit. Anna said in a cute, playful tone. Waiting in the car for Miriam almost made me starve. Bruno asked the waiter to bring the menu. There was an empty seat next to that senior. I walked over and was about to sit down. Hey, don't sit there. The senior moved the chair away and said to me, I have this bad habit, only beautiful girls can sit next to me. Sorry. As he said it, he glanced again at Anna sitting beside him. Anna pretended to hit him playfully. Stop messing around. Sit here, freshman. A female senior scooted over and made space for Tony and me. Don't mind him. He's always like that, no filter at all. I pressed my lips together and sat down, silently glancing at Bruno. He sensed my gaze but didn't respond. Instead, he turned to the waiter and said, No scallions, she doesn't like them. And no garlic either. Anna gently tugged at his sleeve. Bruno raised a brow. Didn't you used to eat garlic? Anna's ears turned red as she whispered something in his ear. They both laughed. Oh come on, stop it. We haven't even started eating yet and you're already feeding us dog food, the senior joked. This restaurant is super slow with serving food. Let's play a game. What game? Truth or dare, the senior suggested. That's so lame, Anna interrupted. Oh, if it's lame, then you go first. Truth or dare? Truth. All right then, when are you and Bruno planning to make your relationship public? At that, everyone started teasing them. Bruno didn't say anything. He just looked at Anna with a half-smile. What are you talking about? Anna covered her face with her hands. We're not together. Got it, so you two are still in the ambiguous phase. The senior gave her an out, then swept his gaze toward me. Your turn. I'm not playing. I rejected him openly. His face darkened. Fine, someone who really knows how to kill the vibe. Don't be like that, freshman, the female senior whispered to me. It's just a game. You don't want to offend a senior right when school starts. If he doesn't care about losing face, why should I help save it? Seeing the tension, Anna spoke up. If the freshman doesn't want to play, then forget it. No need to make everyone unhappy. Exactly, it's just a meal. Why make things so stiff? The female senior echoed. I'll do it. Dare. Tony offered cautiously. Fine, you then. The senior's lips curled. Your dare is to look Miriam in the eyes for 10 seconds. Don't say I'm not giving you a chance. Then he glanced at me. This is fine, right? Just 10 seconds. Don't embarrass your Tony Sr. Everyone at the table looked like they were settling in to watch a show. Tony tugged lightly at the hem of my shirt. I could feel his helplessness. As someone who always lingered on the edges of a group, he was used to smiling apologetically. For him, these 10 seconds could smooth over many things. Come on, count to 10. The senior was excited. I took a breath and under everyone's gaze, looked at Tony. Under the flickering lights, his confusion showed clearly on his face, but even more than that, relief. Relief that I was willing to cooperate, so he didn't have to endure the awkwardness of being stared at and rejected alone. 8, 7, 6. It shouldn't be like this. Why did we have to become monkeys on display? 5, 4, 3, 2. This wasn't creating an opportunity. It was mocking the simple desire of ordinary people to be loved, treating it like some sort of spectacle. The word one hadn't even been spoken when Bruno pushed open the private room door. The dishes had arrived. And the farce was interrupted. I stood up and walked out of the room. I went to the end of the hallway to breathe. Why did I come with him to a gathering where I didn't know a single person? Just to watch him use this method to make me give up? Tired. Behind me came a voice I knew well. This was the first time in 2 years that he and I were speaking face to face. I turned around, calmer than I expected. I want to go back. He took a cigarette from his pocket. All right. I'll have Tony take you back. I can go by myself. Are you trying to make me worry on purpose? I let out a small, angry laugh. Don't you think it's shameless of you to say that? He didn't reply. His eyes drifted toward the window in the corridor. Night was slowly falling, casting a faint veil over the brightly lit city. There were countless evenings like this when Bruno used to bike me home. Tony is pretty suitable for you. I turned to leave. He grabbed my arm and pulled me back into place. The window on my left. Him on my right, blocking out the noise of the corridor. Let go. I tugged hard. What are you doing? Don't you like Anna? He replied calmly. She's pretty enough. He didn't let go. Instead, he leaned in closer. You grew taller in the last 2 years. His words made no sense, as if we were talking about something trivial and unrelated. I pushed him away. She's better than you in every way, Miriam. Yes, I lifted my head, holding back tears and said firmly. She's better than me in every way. I don't want to like you anymore, Bruno. His eyes shifted slightly as he let go of my arm. Is that so? He let out a small laugh. You can try. I bet you won't be able to. Chapter 3. He knew I would definitely refuse Tony. So he let them push the two of us together. All his confidence came from the fact that I had loved him for so many years. Being loved sincerely and straightforwardly made him take my affection for granted, treating it as something he deserved by default. I was the toy of his childhood, and once he grew up and found newer, shinier toys, he tossed me into a corner. But he always assumed that I would stay in that corner forever, waiting for him. Go to hell. This meal was really good. A noisy group of people poured out of the restaurant. Yeah, and Bruno paid again. He's really loaded. At the cashier counter, another group was settling their bill. Oh damn, that's the big shot from the computer science department. I took his class once. Which one? There are so many legends, who are you talking about? The youngest and the most handsome one. Bruno walked up, half a head shorter than him. Professor. The man heard him and gave a slight nod, counting as a response. His glance swept over everyone waiting at the entrance, and instantly, the rowdy group went quiet. So quiet it felt like a classroom waiting for roll call. No one dared make a sound. Leo. From behind him, several highly respected senior professors walked up. About that project you mentioned last time. Bruno finished paying, head slightly lowered, and walked out of that overwhelming aura. Bruno, does that big shot know you? The senior asked, leaning in. Yeah, I've taken his class. Why didn't you say so earlier? The senior lit up with excitement. I wanted to join his research group before but I failed the interview. I heard he's super strict. Could you help me somehow? Maybe get me connected with him? Bruno glanced at him but said nothing. The female senior beside us chimed in. Don't bother asking Bruno. He didn't pass the interview either. Bruno's expression darkened. He changed the subject. Heading back to campus? No way, let's switch locations. Round 2. You coming? Bruno asked me. I'm going back to campus. TSK, the senior sneered. Yeah, go back and sleep early. Bruno glanced at Tony. You take, Miriam. A voice behind us interrupted him. I turned around. Through the gentle drizzle of the spring night, Leonardo, wearing a black coat, was walking toward us from the cashier. Chapter 4. Leonardo was the only variable in the 10 years I liked Bruno. He always appeared at the moments when I felt the most lost and helpless. Just like now. He walked slowly to my side. The umbrella hovered gently above my head, effortlessly separating me from that group of people. Going back to campus? His words and actions were overly familiar, so natural that he looked like someone coming to pick up his girlfriend after a gathering. I steadied my emotions. He looked past me, toward the dim corner of the lights, at Bruno among the crowd. Bruno stood beside Anna, staring at Leonardo and me. His gaze gradually darkened. Oh my God, freshman, you know the professor? The senior widened his eyes and rushed over to grab my hand. Why didn't you say so earlier? I instinctively withdrew my hand and my shoulder accidentally brushed against Leonardo's hand holding the umbrella. He steadied me. And you are? The senior's eyes flashed with embarrassment. I'm from the student council. When you first came to school to give a lecture, I was assigned to receive you. Same department as you. Leonardo looked at Bruno's group and asked me. They're all upperclassmen. Thank you for taking care of Miriam. His smiling eyes were so gentle, like ripples of light on a clear lake. No, no, she's the darling of our club, the senior jumped in eagerly. When she joins later, I'll look after her. I didn't want to stay with them any longer, especially not drag Leonardo into this mess. Did you drive here? I looked up at him. My car's in the parking lot up front. We need to walk a bit. Want to wait here? I'll walk with you. My answer was firm. What about round two? Bruno asked the senior coldly, hands in pockets. Aren't you leaving? After saying that, he turned around and left without looking back. Bruno, wait for me. Anna followed him. Then Professor, we'll head out too. The senior glanced at Leonardo cautiously, then pretended enthusiasm as he spoke to me. Freshman, don't be shy with me. Tomorrow I'll take you to the cafeteria for something good. The group disappeared into the misty drizzle. My emotions finally calmed and I put a bit more distance between us. Professor. He gave a soft laugh. Now you remember to call me Professor? Professor, I didn't know I'd meet you here, Miriam. He lowered his head a little. From the moment I started tutoring you, I never intended to be your teacher. Leonardo had been my physics tutor. When no one believed I could get into the Capital University, he was the one who supported me, calling me every night to go over problems, revise papers, push me forward step by step, pulling me up from impossible to possible until my name appeared on the honor list. But technically, he never took any money from my family. He had been admitted to the youth program in middle school, then became the youngest professor recruited by the Capital University. He had no need to tutor a high school student. People said he did it because he was my brother's childhood friend and that he treated me like a little sister. But on the day I received my admission letter, he said plainly, "It's because I like you." Leonardo made everything clear, not wanting any unspoken feelings to hurt me. But it was a feeling I couldn't repay. Because everything I worked so hard for was for my promise with Bruno. I was the one with improper intentions, he said softly, with a hint of self-mocking laughter at the end. You don't have to mind it. You got into the Capital University because you worked hard enough. Believe in yourself. Leonardo, I'm sorry, A straightforward rejection was the only thing I could think of. Miriam, don't apologize. Being able to help you already makes me happy. After that, we had no contact. Until today. Until now. Standing beside him, I could still remember the faint, almost inaudible sound of his breathing in that phone call. Let's go to the parking lot. I'll take you back to campus. Once again, he helped me. Chapter 5. Good that someone's taking you home. Bruno sent me a text. A moment later, another one came. When did you two meet? I didn't reply. The parking lot was at the end of the commercial street. The street was crowded and jammed with people. Leonardo and I didn't walk fast, yet we still caught up with the group. Bruno and Anna walked at the very end. When he glanced sideways, he saw me. But he showed no expression, only turned his head back and continued chatting with Anna, looking even somewhat cheerful. Whatever they were talking about, he laughed loudly, every bit of it landed clearly in my ears. He rarely laughed like that. Using Leonardo to make Bruno jealous was the stupidest idea. He didn't care about me. No matter what makeup I put on, no matter how pretty a dress I wore. Next to Anna, I faded into insignificance. He said she was better than me in every way. Her skin, her figure, her effortless beauty made the makeup on my face, which felt a little messy, seem even more ridiculous. She could capture all of his attention with ease. But why? Just because she was beautiful? Ah. A sting hit the tip of my nose. Why was I thinking like this? I hated myself for it. For no reason, treating another girl as an imaginary rival, all because of him. Because his push and pull made me unwillingly drift into a meaningless competition between women. This wasn't good. I didn't want to be this version of myself. Careful, red light. Leonardo held me back, pulling me out of my thoughts. The red light separated Bruno and me. He was smiling as he listened to Anna, not noticing that I had fallen behind. It was always like this. For so many years, to him, I was always the unremarkable one, never the one worth noticing. Always left behind. No matter how hard I tried. I'm sorry, Leonardo. I looked away from Bruno, then looked up at Leonardo sincerely. I should have responded to your feelings seriously. Thank you, really. But I can't be with you. I'm sorry I used you as a tool today. I really was awful. The mix of suffocating grievance and self-loathing surged up, overwhelming the tip of my nose, pushing tears to my eyes along with my broken words. I hated how easily I cried. So embarrassing. Leonardo placed a gentle hand on my head. There was clear respect in the way he touched me. Don't apologize, Miriam. His voice was clear and gentle. I was the one who liked you without considering your feelings. You don't owe me anything. How could liking someone ever be wrong? Love and being loved were such beautiful things. The one at fault was Bruno. Refusing to respond sincerely, not liking me back but still enjoying the feeling of being chased. The one at fault was me, losing myself, stubbornly treating liking him as something noble and touching. I knew how you felt, yet I still used your affection to test someone else. That was terrible of me, I sniffed. Leonardo, I don't deserve your feelings. If you insult yourself again, I'll really get angry. It was rare for him to speak sternly to me. I shut my mouth obediently, though the tears still fell one by one. Your dress, it looks very nice. He noticed. I covered my face. With me crying like this, my makeup must be ruined. Probably like a raccoon. Hideous. He took my wrist and gently lowered my hand. Then he looked at me directly, with eyes as clear as a deep lake. The Miriam I like is the best girl in the whole world. The best. Unique. But I wasn't Bruno's only one. I was just his backup choice. I had never been loved with certainty and passion. And yet someone was truly loving me that way. How could you do this, Leonardo? You can't comfort someone like that. That one sentence tugged at the very root of all my grievances. Green light. Under the misty rain, the traffic signal blurred into a soft green glow. Spring moisture drifted everywhere. A dozen seconds. Time to walk. Across the road, I saw Bruno. His chin slightly raised, watching Leonardo and me. His gaze was dark and unreadable. 10 seconds left. I hurriedly wiped away my tears, hoping the hazy rain would hide how spineless I looked, crying, and lifted my foot, ready to step toward the other side of the street. But Leonardo stopped me. His hand around my wrist, he had never let go from the beginning. What is it? He wasn't someone who showed his emotions. Much less someone who acted on impulse. You didn't actually treat me as a tool. At the ends of his lashes, a raindrop from the spring equinox night clung lightly. Miriam, this is how you should use someone as a tool. I had never imagined that someone as gentle as Leonardo, when pulling a person into his arms without warning, could be so unreasonable. As if he had played out this moment in his mind countless times. We're even now. The early spring chill lingered. Through his coat, I couldn't feel his warmth. But I could feel his scent, like the lime water I drank this morning after the rain. In an instant, it sparked heat. Rising with his breath, burning against my ear. Too close. What do you mean even? My voice didn't sound like my own. Miriam, he gave a small laugh. I'm taking advantage of the moment. I'm a bad guy too. His words were full of apology, but his tone carried not the slightest hint of repentance. Red light. Horns blared across the street. Bruno tried to rush toward us, but Anna held him back. Bruno. It's a red light. Are you crazy? Shock, fury. Expressions I had never seen on Bruno's face before. He seemed to be shouting something toward me. But I couldn't hear him anymore. Because in my ear was Leonardo's voice. Take this bad guy with you, Miriam. Chapter 6. Bad guys don't call themselves bad guys. Unless it's the kind who already set the trap long in advance, pretending to be a harmless lamb, the true mastermind. Not coming in? Raindrops slid down the umbrella and fell onto the dark wooden floor. The dorm curfew had already passed and I stood at the door of Leonardo's apartment, unable to bring myself to step inside. So fast. What did he mean by this? Did he mean that? What are you thinking about? Nothing. I answered instantly. It's not really proper for me to bother you like this, Professor. Professor? You. I corrected myself quickly, staring at the tip of the umbrella. Leonardo, he asked, do you prefer going to a hotel? He asked it with complete gentlemanly frankness. I froze even more. I just figured it might be dangerous for you to stay in a hotel alone, so I brought you here to wait out the rain. Your brother will come pick you up soon. He came over and took my umbrella. Come in. I'll make you some ginger tea. And you're soaked, you should dry off. After saying that, Leonardo pulled out a clean white towel from the entryway drawer and placed it over my dripping hair. His movement was natural and he almost helped me towel it dry, but halfway through, he stopped. I looked up at him. He turned his gaze away. Do it yourself. The towel was soft and clean with the light scent of lavender. I changed into his spare indoor slippers and sat on the sofa. Outside, the rain grew heavier, as if it had no intention of stopping tonight. The apartment was spacious, decorated in cool gray tones, much like his usual temperament, hard to approach, distant. Only the ginger water boiling in the kitchen slowly warmed the rain-wrapped space. Just like he warmed me. Leonardo was on the phone with my brother. His voice was calm, almost emotionless. Then he turned his head and met my eyes. Yeah, the rain came suddenly. Bring her some clothes. She needs to change or she'll catch a cold. He told my brother something, then let out a lazy, almost careless laugh. But his gaze never once left my face. I'm not exactly a saint. You better drive faster. My heart skipped. I looked away quickly. Stared at a painting on the wall. The painting was ugly. Miriam. He called my name suddenly. I nearly jumped. Yeah, I turned around. Dry your hair. Then come drink your ginger tea. I moved to the dining table. He passed me the spoon. Our fingers brushed. His face didn't show the slightest reaction. He really was such a gentleman. I'm going to shower. Finish it while I'm gone. I burned my tongue on the spoon. Why wasn't he leaving? Wasn't he going to shower? I looked up and found him giving me a half-smile. A mischievous one. You should go, I rushed him, then realized how that sounded, so I added. Or you'll catch a cold. He asked in a careful, measured tone, perfectly natural. Miriam, why is your face so red? Are you running a fever? Before I could respond, the back of his hand touched my forehead. Just a light touch, then he withdrew. No fever. The steam from the ginger tea made you warm. My fault. It's too hot. Should have let it cool. Right, blame you, blame you. I pushed his hand away. Leonardo, go take your shower already. God, this was too weird. The atmosphere was too weird. The ginger tea was too warm, like the steam of a bathroom. Even though I couldn't feel the bathroom's heat, every sip of ginger tea made me more aware of the sound of the running shower. My phone vibrated. Bruno. Like a splash of cold water, diluting the warmth the ginger tea had barely given me. I rejected the call. He kept calling. I finally answered, and he went silent. Where are you? None of your business. Miriam, you never hung up on me before. Do you need something? Where are you? Anna said you didn't go back to the dorm. Do you have no shame? Running off with some guy on the street, and what exactly are you doing right now? I laughed coldly. Trying to express concern for me? If you're trying to make me jealous with him, you're mistaken, Miriam. He let out a sharp laugh. I'd never fall for such childish tricks. The sound of the shower stopped. If you don't care, then don't. I don't care anymore either. I told him. Bruno, I can let go just as easily as I pick up. And I mean what I say. After that, I hung up. The rain was still heavy, rumbling with low thunder. I stood up and placed the bowl into the dishwasher. The pot of ginger tea in the kitchen was still steaming. He hadn't served himself, only me. I lifted my half-dry hair, took out a clean porcelain bowl and ladled the tea spoon by spoon. Miriam. Leonardo came out wearing a light beige wool sweater, soft like a spring cloud. I served you a bowl, I said quickly, looking away to explain. He walked over, reached past my shoulder and took the bowl from my hands. Careful, it's hot. Still holding my hand, he scooped one more ladle into the bowl. The wooden scent of his body wash unfurled around my breath and the rising steam warmed my face. I didn't dare move. If I moved, the tea would spill. Burn me, and burn him. Once the bowl was full, he released my hand and stepped back. Just as I was about to breathe again, he asked, "You really don't have a fever?" "No," I denied instantly. He sat at the dining table drinking ginger tea, droplets at the ends of his hair swaying softly whenever he lowered his head. Good-looking people, even their hair whirls are good-looking. My mind drifted endlessly, and landed on the painting on the wall. Carefully framed. But the painting was, honestly, embarrassing. Maybe it was painted by some ex-girlfriend? Except he never dated anyone. "What are you looking at?" He followed my gaze to the painting. "Honestly, it's awful," I whispered. "Did some auction scam you? Or maybe, an unusual aesthetic?" He laughed. "If I like it, no price is too high." "Fair enough." The doorbell rang. He got up to open it. "I'm just saying, letting her stay here one night won't kill anyone. Why drag me from the north side of the city to the south in a rainstorm, man?" My brother started complaining the second he stepped inside. "Did you bring the clothes?" "What clothes?" He patted his head. "Oh. I forgot. My bad. Don't stare at me like that, dude, it's scary." I peeked my head out. My brother looked like he'd just spotted a rescue boat. "My dear sister, aren't you thrilled to see your big brother?" Leonardo turned back, his gaze sweeping over my still wet clothes and his brows knitted. "You should have just given her one of your shirts." "Sure, it'd be huge but whatever," my brother said. "That's inappropriate." Leonardo picked up my umbrella and handed it over. "Turn the heater on in the car. Let me know when you get home." Yeah, my brother took the umbrella and waved for me, still muttering. "You treat her like she's made of gold. You're more like her real brother than I am." I shoved him forward, trying to get him to leave faster. "Aren't you going to say goodbye?" Leonardo asked with a soft smile. My brother raised an eyebrow at that, glancing between us with interest. I cleared my throat. "Goodbye, Professor." Our eyes met. Ah. He was mad. The elevator arrived. My brother urged. "Miriam, let's go." Leonardo sighed. "Good night, Miriam." He turned to close the door, but I caught the corner of his wool sweater. It really was as soft as it looked. "Thank you, Leonardo." Soft and intimate, the way someone would thank an older brother, or someone they're afraid to lose. In the car. My brother drove fast, humming loudly. "From today I'm marrying you till you smell like his cologne." Horrible. Absolutely horrible. "Drive slower." He snorted. Good thing I have sharp eyes. I could see right through that guy's fake innocent act. Inappropriate, my ass. He's full of tricks, pretending to be some pure little flower in front of you. I couldn't stand this topic, so I changed it. "The painting in Leonardo's living room is really ugly." My brother froze, then burst out laughing. "What are you laughing at?" "It is ugly," he said. Back in high school, he traded a whole month of cafeteria meal tickets for it. "You painted it? No wonder it was so ugly." My brother gave me a long look. "That masterpiece was painted by you, my dear sister." Chapter 7. After my 8 a.m. class ended, "Miriam, do you know that big shot from the computer science department?" my roommate asked. He's my brother's classmate." "Is he getting transferred?" "I heard he's moving to the neighboring university." "He's amazing." "Transferred?" "Yeah, that's what the upperclassmen said." "Supposedly he's not teaching students anymore," another girl joined in. "What a rare good-looking researcher, may his hairline survive." "Going to the cafeteria?" my roommate asked. The cafeteria was packed. Balancing my bowl of shredded pork with garlic sauce, I searched through the crowd for her. I didn't find my roommate, but I did see Bruno and Anna. Anna was sitting, coaxing Bruno about something, but his expression remained dark and he barely responded. Well, isn't this our Miriam?" The senior from the last gathering stood up to greet me, warm and enthusiastic, completely different from before, leaving me no room to avoid him. Bruno followed his gaze, looked at me. In just a few seconds, his expression shifted, from emotionless to angry to disdainful. Like he'd switched faces. I knew him too well. This was the expression he had whenever he thought I had done something wrong, that I owed him an apology, that I should coax him. He still stubbornly believed that I would humble myself and run back to him, no matter what he had done to me. As long as he got upset, as long as he crooked a finger, I'd return to his side. Come sit. It's too crowded here. The senior snatched my food and offered the seat opposite Bruno. No thanks. I'm here with a friend. Doesn't matter, I'll get you another stool. He ran off eagerly. I stayed where I was, unmoving, still scanning for my roommate. Friend? Bruno sneered. And he only buys you this? What was that supposed to mean? I looked at his awful expression. Leonardo only treats you to cafeteria food? Oh. So he assumed the friend I mentioned was Leonardo. What's wrong with cafeteria food? It's clean and cheap. I simply sat down. Don't you treat Anna to cafeteria food too? I'm paying with my own card. That doesn't count as him treating me. Anna said. Oh, I smiled lightly. That's not good. Why would you let someone pay with their own student card? Bruno shoved one hand in his pocket, posture casual. Anna isn't like you. She's frugal, doesn't care about money. And she's determined, with clear goals. He looked straight into my eyes. Unlike some people, who change their mind and suddenly don't like me anymore. My roommate finally spotted me. She rushed over with her bowl of noodles. Great. You managed to snag seats. The moment Bruno realized she was my roommate, his expression froze. He straightened up and pulled his hand out of his pocket. This is, my roommate asked. This is Bruno, my senior from high school, I introduced calmly. And his girlfriend, Anna. It was the first time Bruno ever heard me introduce him that way. And the first time he heard me refer to Anna like that. His expression shattered, completely dropping the mask, as he stared at me in disbelief. I met his gaze and sincerely said, I wish you two the best. Really? Chapter 8. Things are really good like this, Bruno. Once I get into your university, I can come to the capital to find you. During the winter break of senior year, it was one of the few chances I had to see Bruno. I told him excitedly about my mock exam score. I really improved a lot this time. He patted my head. Good girl. I'm gaming right now, talk later. What game? You wouldn't understand. Later I found out. That winter break I treasured so much was the same winter break he spent helping Anna rank up in her game. Wow, you were so dumb back then. Late night dorm gossip, my roommate sighed dramatically. If it were me, I'd hate my old self for being such a simp. It's not totally simping, another roommate said. We were all young. Easy to get fooled by a jerk. True. You didn't know any better back then. Then she asked me. So how do you feel about it now? Now, I lay on my side, thinking for a long, long time. By the time I finished thinking, only the soft sound of our sleeping breaths remained in the room. My phone lit up with a new message. Eastgate, 11:30 tomorrow. I'll come pick you up. Leonardo. My brother told me that after Leonardo's transfer, his research group became extremely busy and he was barely seen on campus. But he still wanted to take me somewhere nice to eat. Will you be able to get up? If not, we can go in the afternoon. Another message. Sure. I typed carefully. Are you still in the lab? I checked the time, 12:30 a.m. You must be really busy. We can go another day. Can I call you? He asked. I slipped out of bed quietly, gently pulling open the door. Where are you going? My roommate peeked through her bed curtain. Shoo, I gestured frantically. Don't wake anyone. No one's asleep, she pointed around. She's gaming, those two are scrolling TikTok and watching Taobao live streams. Normal people don't sleep at 12:30. Look, this discount is basically the same as usual, what kind of scam sale is this? Through the curtains I saw all the screens glowing in the dark. I'm just making a phone call. I closed the door and walked to the laundry room at the end of the hall. The washing machines were still running loudly. Hello. I spoke softly. Sorry, I forgot you're in your dorm. Leonardo's voice was low and slightly hoarse but still gentle. Did I disturb your roommates? A bit. So I can only talk for a little while. A little while is fine. Both sides grew quiet. Only the soft buzzing of the line remained. Leonardo, the painting in your living room wasn't painted by me. I pinched my phone nervously. My brother lied. My classmate borrowed my sketchbook back then and drew it. This idiot, he hung it in his living room for years. If my classmate knew her masterpiece was treated like treasure, she'd probably cry from gratitude. It's really ugly, I whispered. You should take it down. He chuckled. I exchanged a whole month of cafeteria meal tickets for it back in high school. Sorry for making you starve for a month. I thought he would say it's not your fault. But he laughed lightly. Then you'll have to eat with me tomorrow. But you need rest. That's why I need you. After hanging up, I tiptoed back to the dorm. What the hell is this garbage? Jungle can't play and you expect me to carry you on Yao? Carry your grandma's dog legs, my roommate was raging at her game. I held my phone, still warm in my hand. I don't feel anything anymore. What? My roommate peeked out. What did you say? I really didn't feel anything toward Bruno anymore. Not hatred, not anger, nothing. Because he wasn't worth it. If we hadn't talked about relationships tonight, I wouldn't even have remembered he existed. At some point, the person who once filled my every thought became someone I hadn't thought of in a very, very long time. When do you truly walk out of a failed love? Not when you delete them from WeChat. Not when you say goodbye. It's a random night. After washing your hair, lying on your dorm bed, chatting with your roommates, and you realize you can joke about them casually. That's when you know, they really don't matter anymore. If this one sucks, just find another, one roommate said to the gamer roommate. It's just a jungler. There are plenty of them. At worst, I'll jungle for you. Who needs men anyway? Chapter 9. At 11 o'clock, I was already waiting at the east gate. After days of light rain, the air was damp and cool. Last night, under the intense interrogation of my roommates, I finally confessed that I had a lunch date with Leonardo. My roommates, who normally couldn't wake up before noon, struggled out of bed early today, insisting they had to do my makeup. 3 of them fussed over me for a long while and in the end, all 3 said in unison, "Wow." So I arrived earlier than planned, a full 30 minutes early. And I ran into Bruno. I forgot how close this place was to his dorm. At first he didn't recognize me. He walked past a couple of steps before turning back, staring at me for a long time. Were you waiting for me? Do you think that's possible? I didn't look at him. He let out a self-mocking laugh and stood beside me, silent for a long time. Do you have to stand right next to me? It happened to be class dismissal time. Crowds of students streamed past the east gate. He looked at me. You even learned to do makeup for him? I wear makeup for myself. I'll show it to whoever I want. What does it have to do with you? You didn't talk like this before. When I didn't answer, he lowered his voice. If we were together, would you wait for me like this too? No. We will never be together. I looked up at him. You're not worthy, Bruno. Pain flickered in his eyes, restrained, aching. I don't have anything going on with Anna. You're the one who said she's better than me in everything. That was just you trying to make fun of me, I said calmly, coolly. You wanted to see me hurt for you, sad for you, devastated because I couldn't have you. It was just you feeding your vanity. That's why I said you're not worthy. You are not worthy of being loved, Bruno, because you never value anyone's feelings. If you don't like someone, you can reject them. But you cannot toy with them and you absolutely cannot use someone's affection as a way to boost your ego. My brief blindness doesn't mean you were ever anything special. Please remember that. He couldn't say a single word for a long time. The light mist of rain fell onto my umbrella, the flowing curtain of water forming an invisible barrier between us. I looked past his shoulder, and in the gentle spring drizzle not far away, someone was standing, waiting. He had arrived early too. He had been standing there all along, waiting for me to notice him. Thank you for the reminder, Bruno. I really should try being with someone else sooner. I smiled at him. Now I finally know how good I, Miriam, am, and how undeserving you are. With that, I turned and walked away. toward the figure waiting for me. In the rainy season of the spring equinox,